In this video, we cover how to replace the filters on the Evolve Ultra Water reverse osmosis system. To begin, you will need the following material: a rag or paper towels, the filter wrench, tubing cutters, nitrile or latex gloves, the pre, post, and inline filter, a mild bleach solution. Additionally, you can use a TDS meter to test the water quality from the membrane and, if necessary, replace the membrane. Begin by turning each of the ball valves 90 degrees clockwise to shut off the water from the supply and the storage tank. Open the filter faucet to relieve the water pressure from the unit. Place a rag below the unit and, using the filter wrench, unscrew and remove the pre and post filter from either end of the unit. Put on the nitrile gloves and remove the replacement filter from the packaging. Note the labeling on the bottom of the new filters to know which is the pre and which is the post filter. When unscrewing the dust caps from the new filters, make sure the O-ring stays in place in the filter housing. Spray the mild bleach solution on top of the filter housing to sanitize the new filters. Note, because the filters contain carbon, no chlorine will make it into your filtered water. Screw the filter onto the correct side of the manifold. The pre-filter is on the side opposite the tubing connections, and the post-filter is on the same side as the tubing connections on the manifold. Note, the housings utilize the O-ring to make a seal, so hand tightening is recommended. Over-tightening with the filter wrench can make future filter replacement more difficult and even damage the unit. Next, remove the tubing from the inline filter. The push-fit fittings work like a Chinese finger trap and will not release the tubing when pulled. You release the tubing by depressing the collet and pulling on the tube at the same time. Using this technique, remove the old filter. The new filter will come with dust plugs that need to be removed with the same technique. Next, use tubing cutters. Trim about 1/2 inch off the ends of each side of the tubing so the tubing is free of scratches going into the new filter. Push the tubing all the way into each side of the new filter. Make sure the arrow of flow indicator is going the same direction as the old inline filter. With all new filters back in place, you can turn the water back onto the unit by turning the supply valve and tank valve 90 degrees counterclockwise. Open the faucet to allow the air out of the system and begin flushing the new filters. By wrapping a rag around the end of the faucet, you can minimize splatter from the air leaving the new filters. Continue to let the faucet run for 3 to 4 minutes to drain the water out of the bladder tank and flush the carbon fines from the new filters. Once the tank is empty, the faucet will run down to a trickle. You can verify that the tank is empty by lifting it. If the faucet has run down to a trickle but the tank is still heavy and full of water, you will need to add air to the tank bladder. Using the air valve on the bottom of the bladder tank, leave the faucet open to allow the water out and add air incrementally until the tank is empty of water and there is 10 psi of air pressure remaining in the bladder. To pressure test the unit, turn off the tank valve and the faucet. Turn off any valves that feed ice makers or water features to ensure they are not pulling water during the pressure test. Turn on the supply valve. This will simulate the tank being full and allow the system to pressure up and shut off. Once the system has been under pressure for 5 minutes, Check for any drips or moisture at fittings and filters. After verifying there are no drips, turn the tank valve back on, as well as any valves feeding ice makers or water features. It will take approximately 2 hours for the bladder tank to refill completely, so we advise placing a dry paper towel under the unit. Check the paper towel once before you go to bed, and again tomorrow morning, to ensure that after the system has completely refilled and been under pressure for several hours, everything is nice and dry. Your filter change is now complete. Additionally, you can check the total dissolved solids, or TDS, of the tap water, as well as the reverse osmosis water to verify the membrane's performance. Dip the meter into a sample of tap water and then a sample of the reverse osmosis water to verify a 90% or greater reduction in TDS. If the TDS is not being reduced by 90%, change the membrane by unscrewing the middle housing with the filter wrench. Remove and discard the old membrane. Spray a mild bleach solution in the housing to disinfect it. Insert the new membrane into the housing with the brine seal pointed up. Verify the O-ring is still in place inside the membrane housing. Screw the membrane housing onto the manifold and hand tighten. Thank you for watching this how-to video and for being a loyal client of Pure Water Systems of Nevada.